All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Tyler. I'm going to be your host tonight. I want to thank you so much for joining us. We're going to talk all about a September marketing plan, and I'm really excited to present these ideas to you simply because these are really impactful months to your annual profit. So when you sell more services into the fall and the winter, a lot of times you've paid, right? You've paid insurance all year long. You've paid a ton of overhead expenses all year long, and getting another 10, 15, 50% more sales out of your fall services, a lot of times it's really going to be contributing to profit at the end of the season. They're going to stop you from having to pay guys into into that slowdown period where you're starting to pay people out of pocket. You're maybe not making as much revenue every month. So these services are super important. I'm going to show you how we're going to sell more of those. And so I'm excited. Let's dive in. All right, when it comes to putting together a fall or September marketing plan, most lawn and landscape companies are thinking too narrow about that, where that revenue is going to come from. So we're going to break this down here in a couple of really easy categories for you to be able to focus how your mentality and what your approach should be when it comes to this. So I want you to think about 4 buckets when it comes to marketing, and we're going to touch each one of these areas here. The first is going to be how to sell to your existing clients. This is the low-hanging fruit. These are the people who already know, like, and trust you. So we're going to show you exactly how you can reach out to those folks, exactly the SMS or the email templates that work really well to just activate these people who might not haven't heard from you since maybe earlier in the season, or when you did a landscaping job for them last year or something like that. We want to reach out to these folks and get our existing clients on our schedule for a fall service. The next category is going to be new clients, or where we're going to get new leads from. A lot of times this is the only way guys are thinking about their marketing, is how do I get, dial up the ads? How do I get more PPC? How do I get more SEO? But really, this is just part of the bucket, but we will touch on this. There's a print strategy here. There's an SEO strategy. We covered a ton of that last month. And there's a website update strategy. We're going to walk through that as well. Next is going to be these things I call Megaleads. So this is a great time of year that you've got a great excuse to reach out to realtors and property managers. I'm going to show you where you can get those leads from, or how you can get a list of people in your area that you can call. And start working through them. This is a great time of year. Hey, are you a listing agent? You're gonna have you're gonna have leaves all over your property. Let's keep that looking nice, and go down that, go down that track there as well. And then last, I'm gonna show you how to prime all these customers. So everybody we touch in fall, we want to prime them for off-season sales. So sales in November, December, January, depending on where you are in the country, you're going to start sooner or later when it comes to that. But if you can make revenue in December and January, we want to prime these customers to it, because that, again, $1 is worth a lot more in January, because maybe you're not paying as many people. You've got a skeleton crew out there. Or this is just a time of year where you don't expect as much revenue. And so to be able to put revenue into that can get you ahead for the rest of the season. All right, now real quick before we dive fully into the plan here, coming up in October and November, we've got 2 more webinars scheduled. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, or you get on our email list here so that you can be part of this. The off season is a critical part of the season to make big steps in your online presence, specifically things like SEO. If you want to crush next year, then getting these things done in your downtime is going to be super important. So in October, we got the perfect website redesign plan. The November webinar is going to be an SEO focused webinar, all about an off-season SEO plan. Do not miss these things. Also, if you need help with any of this stuff, go to lawnmarketingedge.com/schedule. I'd love to have a chance. We can talk all about this. You can grab 100% free, no obligation recommendation session. We'll look at all these things together and hit any marketing needs that you might have. So, all right, let's talk about the services that you should be selling in September. All right, the fall services that you should be selling. I pulled this up from last month's webinar. We had this in August where we looked all about the search volume that hits for all of these fall services. So right now, aeration and overseed is hot. This is the highest spike in aeration and overseed searches that you will get all year, second only to the spring rush. So this is the time of the year where you have new customers that are looking for these services. Another great one that's going to just be like a super simple moneymaker is going to be shrub and tree trimming. Everything is overgrown, and these are services that need to be done, but a lot of folks won't think to do them. So that's perfect for the marketing plan we're going to pull out here, how we're going to outreach to these folks. We're going to see leaf cleanups coming up in October. The spike starts in October. It peaks in November, especially obviously the farther south you go, the later that's going to be. But we see those leaf cleanups really spike through mid-November. So we're getting prepared for those things. And then if you're seeing this on YouTube, I would love it if you would just take a second and comment on the stuff that you're selling this time of year. What should people be keying in on? What should we be focused on that might be a huge benefit to the community? Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's take a look at just a top-down view of how you might structure this out in September here to basically pull the whole marketing plan together. Like I said, we want to hit 4 major buckets. You want to plan for your existing clients. You want to plan for new clients, how you're going to get new clients into the system. You want to plan for like mega leads, realtors, property managers, people who have lots of connections with lots of customers, and now is a good time of year to reach out to them. And then last but not least, we want to make sure that we're priming our customers to sell them services over the off season, especially if we're getting new one-time customers. How are we priming them for the next sale? So we're going to cover all of those, and this plan basically breaks those down. So the first part of the month here, make sure you get all your print stuff ordered. So if you need door hangers, if you're on the fence about yard signs or handouts and coupons, all of those things are going to aid the plan for the rest of the year for your new customers. So if you're hanging door hangers to get new clients in the door, if you're putting yard signs on like boulevards and in neighborhoods, those things pop up. They say simple things like aeration, overseed, big phone number. People are just thinking, oh yeah, I got to get that done. Put a couple value props on there and you're good to go. Make sure you've got a plan for those. We've got templates. There's great templates online. Make sure you get your door hangers that when you stop by a customer's house, that you can start to hit the 5 houses around them as you go through that. So get all of that ordered at the beginning of the month. And September, about mid-September or so, we're going to start to outreach to our existing clients. And this is key. So we'll cover these text message and email copy here of how you can start to outreach to your customers. That's going to get you back into neighborhoods that you haven't been in a long time. Outreach to landscaping clients that you had in the spring. Outreach to, you can send these email and text messages to people that you quoted and didn't actually close business, but maybe they need something this fall. So you've got a chance to reach out to folks with a very timely offer, with for very timely services. So people need to get these things done. So plan to send something by mid-September to all of your customers about the services that you provide. And then as you go through the rest of September, it's all going to be September and October. It's going to be all about stopping in, saying thank you to your customers, give an off-season coupon, for landscaping, for snow removal, for a free mowing next spring. This is touching in to say thank you for letting me be your lawn or landscape provider this season. Just want to say, hey, don't be salesy in this moment, but just hop in, say hey, and leave them with something. Hey, here's a coupon. Next spring, if you need somebody for mowing, I know we just did aeration overseeding this year, but here's 2 free mows for next summer. Throw these on the fridge, throw these in a drawer. Make sure you call us next spring when you're firing things back up, or if you need a spring cleanup or startup or something like that. Make sure that every customer is getting left something so that they are primed to call you next spring, whether that's a handout or a coupon. I love this. Anybody who wants to do a landscaping job in the months of November through January, offer a discount. That is money in your pocket in the slowest season of the year, the time of the year you're trying to keep guys busy. Give them a landscaping coupon. Let your customers know, hey, if you've been waiting on that, typically November through December or January is going to be the absolute best time of year where you can get the best price for a landscaping job. Even if we're, especially if you're not planting new material, if it's not a landscaping job that needs a bunch of new material planted, we're going to have cold issues or things like that. But make sure that you're touching base, prime them for the next sale in this season. And that is going to help your off-season sales significantly. And it's also going to prime and make sure every fall customer turns into a spring customer and an ongoing customer. So make sure that you hit this plan hard and follow through in all of these areas, and that should significantly boost your sales. So let's look into the email and SMS content next so that I can show you exactly what to send these folks when you start to outreach to those customers. All right, so when I recommend to people that they need to outreach to their customers, a lot of them say, I don't know what to send them. And so this is a perfect example of a high converting email template that you can copy and send right now. You can send it today, send it one by one. If you're not super tech savvy, grab your best 15 to 20 clients and just learn, right? Send it one by one to them. Say, hey, we've got a shrub trimming special going on or an aeration overseed special going on. And this is the time where you can have a time-based offer. Anytime you're given a discount, I like to make sure that we're asking for something in return. So book by the end of September and I'll give you 10% off. Plan ahead with these services and I'll give you 20% off. If you book ahead, this is a perfect example of a template that absolutely generates real revenue for our clients right now. And so copy paste that, make sure you send it. I've got a whole download that's got literally the entire sequences for these put in there. So make sure that you use those. If you have customers that you can send text messages to, and you're primed for text messages, we actually see the best responses to these via a text message outreach. So if your customers are accustomed to receiving text messages from you, I would absolutely recommend you go this direction. Make sure that you're legal. You can't just blast out text messages to everybody, but if your customers are used to it already, this is the best way to do it. This is a great template. Throw that out there. You're going to get people that raise their hands and say yes. You're also going to get people that raise their hands and say, by the way, I needed that landscaping job. I need that landscaping job quoted from you, or we need to catch up on, mowing for this sort of thing or whatever. You'll get people to raise their hands and upsell themselves on additional services. So if you have the ability to send text messages, this is a great template. Grab the download here. That will give you literally the exact sequences of if they say yes, do this. If they say no, do that. And then you could program that into your whatever your CMS is. If you're on Jobber or Yardbook or Copilot or something like that, then you can utilize these templates to start outreaching to your customers. While we're in the spirit of outreach, this is a great time of year to be reaching out to what I call Megaleads. And in the lawn and landscape space, usually Megaleads, two of the best are going to be your property managers and your realtor types. They are talking to new homeowners all the time. They manage multiple commercial properties in a lot of cases. These are your windows into HOAs and large commercial project opportunities and things like that. In fall, a lot of folks don't realize that if you are a property manager who is going to renegotiate your lawn and landscape budget for the next season, you are thinking budget in Q4 of that year to set for the next year. So they might need to have a new quote in hand before November or December so they can submit that to their budget office or whatnot. And when they go through the next season, this is a perfect time to stop in and say hello to these folks. The real question is, how do you find them? And so one of my very favorite tools is a tool called Coldalytics. It produces outstanding lists at a very kind of affordable price for small businesses. Usually you can throw 100, 200 bucks at this thing and come off with a pretty decent list of active, successful realtors, property managers that are in and around your area. And then your outreach techniques, the best is honestly to stop in and say hello. So just pop in, introduce yourself. Hey, I'm thinking about next year. You've got these print coupons for fall services. Thinking about next year, thinking about your services for right now. Do you need any help with fall cleanups or aerations or blowing out sprinklers? This is a perfect time to be doing those sorts of things. So you can also network to those folks via social media, but getting one or two more mega leads could be a huge boost to a lot more leads for next year if you start building that relationship now. So it's a key thing to be thinking about in your fall marketing program. Okay, I hope that's been a huge help to you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this webinar tonight. The next thing that you need to do is execute. So execute, execute, execute. Take some of the snippets of this and make sure that you are implementing them. Reach out to your customers with one of the templates here. Get some print done. Get your door hangers in order. Get lawn signs in order so that you can hit those neighborhoods, get new clients, get more revenue from existing clients. If you need help with any of these things, this is what we do all the time. So we can automate just about all of these pieces for you. And if you want to have somebody take a look at what you're doing right now, lawnmarketedge.com/schedule is absolutely the right place to do it. No obligation. We'll just jump in and see how we can help. So thank you so much. I hope you crush your fall services. This is key revenue, key margin revenue for the rest of the season. So I hope it's been a huge help to you. It's been a blast hanging out. So thanks so much.